I was sitting here talking to God this morning, and I'm contemplating over the idea of Jesus being God. Before I get into this, I know a lot of people might disagree with me, but I just want to give what I received from God this morning. Um, so basically, the answer I got is, first of all, does it matter? These are questions I asked. So basically, the process I had was I asked God for help. I said, God, I need your help. I need an answer. Then God said, do you need an answer? And I said, I guess I don't really need an answer on anything to follow you. That's true. But I said, I feel like I need this answer because I have this pull, this draw towards surrendering to Jesus. And I don't know why. And I said, why is that? And then God asked, what do you think? And the answer came to me of, well, I guess it's because of the environments I put myself in, the content that I'm feeding myself. This is the reason why. And then I received, is it so bad to do that? And I said, well, I don't want to just give up and surrender in to something that could be a vice, something that could be a trick. I don't want to surrender to that because there are things of the world that we're supposed to protect ourselves from. We don't want to just surrender and give in to temptation, right? And this could be temptation because of the environments that I put myself in, the content, the things that I'm consuming, right? Could be a temptation. And then the answer I received was, but what do the other temptations do? What do the tricks do? And it's, well, all of the temptations of the world that I would consume, what do they give you? And the things of the world, when I consume those temptations, they give me something physical. They help me in this moment, in this exact moment. They give my body something. They give me a feeling. They give me that dopamine, right? But what happens when I accept God and I surrender to God? God doesn't give me a dopamine fix. Yes, you feel a profound sense of peace and happiness, but that is not the same as if I were to go and do drugs, if I were to go and shoot up or smoke weed or drink a bunch of alcohol. I'm not saying these things are bad. I'm not judging anyone based on these things, okay? I'm just giving the answers I received. Or even TikTok. If I'm sitting here scrolling TikTok and just mindlessly scrolling and consuming this random content, any temptations that I give into, food, games, whatever it is, all of these things give me something in this physical world right now. But what does God do? God does not work literally in the physical world. Yes, God gives you things in the physical, but God works with your mind. God works on bringing you peace and happiness and contentment so that you don't feel the struggle and the challenges, so that you are able to provide the things in the physical world that you need. So when you have this profound sense of peace and clarity that when you surrender to God, this brings, now God can work in your life because God can bring you the opportunities. Now your eyes are open, your vision is clear, and you can see the path. You can see where God is trying to put you so that you can go and grab the things in this physical world. But when you surrender to the temptations of this world, they distract you from the things that you truly are meant to be doing, the things that you really truly want for whatever reason. I've been there. I have a very addictive personality. I've been addicted to a lot of things. I've, since in the last couple of years, given up a lot of these addictive things. And there are still things that I am addicted to. And I'm still working on getting rid of the distractions. But the more I get rid of those distractions, the clearer the path gets. And I felt like the distractions, the addictions, the things that I had before were bringing me happiness. But the thing is, they weren't bringing me happiness. They were allowing me to recognize that I was unhappy. They were allowing me to ignore the fact that I was unhappy, which gave me a false sense of peace and a false sense of happiness. But the thing is, when those things went away, when I'm not playing games, when I'm not doing drugs, when I'm not drinking alcohol, when I'm not obsessing over people, when I'm not scrolling TikTok, this unhappiness sets back in, and I have to realize that there are things that I'm unhappy with that I'm not working on in my life. And that's where God comes in, because God brings me a sense of peace. There's things that I don't have to hold on to anymore because God will hold on to them. But I was trying to hold on to everything myself. I was trying to grab onto everything myself. And that is what I'm giving up to God. That's when you surrender your life to God. God says, okay, now give me all of those things. Give me everything that you tried to hold on to yourself, and I will take it. Now you have the capacity to heal from these things. Now you have all of this capacity to do the things you were meant to do the things you truly want to do that resonates with your soul, your real desires. Not the things that are drawing you back into the world, not the things that are distracting you from who you want to be. Not these things. Sorry. And that is what I received from God this morning. Not that I should surrender to Jesus specifically, not that I should be following a specific path, but rather the overarching idea that I'm supposed to surrender to God, and God as one unit, God as the Father. I'm not rejecting any of those beliefs. I'm just saying this is what I received, and there are many ways to come to God. There are many ways to go towards God. And none of them are wrong. And we should stop arguing with each other and fighting each other on what is the right way, because the right way for you is when you talk to God and you ask God for help and God says, surrender to me. Whatever way you surrender to God and you feel that great sense of peace, not pleasure, okay? There's a difference. You have to discern the difference here. And this is why we talk to God and ask for discernment. When you ask God for that sense of peace within you, when you ask God for the help and God says, surrender to me, and you surrender to God, whatever way you choose to do it, however you choose to do it, if you are granted this great sense of peace and freedom and this power and this happiness inside of you, not because you are being distracted from the pain, but rather it's like being hugged. It's like being hugged and God saying to you, it's okay, child. You're okay. You can hand everything over to me now. But then when you do this, you might have to deal with a lot of pain. Because it's not about holding on to the pain anymore. It's about letting it go. So now you have to reach inside of yourself. You have to pull it out. One painful thing at a time. You might have thousands. You might have one. You might have millions. I don't know. But the point is, everything you were holding on to, God now wants to take it away from you, but you need to hand it over. So now you're going to feel, yes, you're going to feel a lot of peace because God is giving you a hug and God is holding on to you now. And God was always there, but now God is really holding on to you. And God is saying, okay, hand everything over to me. And now you have to give every single thing. And that means you have to feel every single thing all over again. But you're not bringing it to here and shoving it down, bringing it to here and shoving it down. You're pulling it out now all the way. You have to look at it and hand it over. Look at it, hand it over. This is now what your task is. And when you get rid of all these things, when you hand all these things over, yes, more things will come in your life, but you're not going to bury it anymore. You're going to say, okay, I see it, hand it over. Because now you have that close relationship with God. I hope this helps someone out there. This was really long, but I hope it helps. Have a good day, guys.